I'm back. I'm back. Your boy Aaron McCargo Jr., aka the only original Big Daddy. That's all I'm gonna say about who I am. You're on YouTube for a reason. That's because either you follow me on Facebook, someone told you to follow me on YouTube, or you're just a subscriber, you got a notification. But if you know somebody that doesn't have me on YouTube, please let them know they better get up on this. So we're talking about making a pesto, zucchini, and cheese tortellini pasta dish. And we're jumping right into it. I got me some chicken breast that I cut into strips. Now, I was told that, by a friend of mine who said, hey, I have the spice, but I don't use it that much. I don't know what it's for. So I told her, hey, we're gonna fix that problem today. So I got the spice, and I'm just gonna go in here. So you can see about a good tablespoon of the spice. And I'm just gonna go ahead and mix that chicken in here. Let me turn down my heat a little bit. Just a little bit like that. Because my pan is hot, I can feel it. And I'm just gonna go ahead and get that chicken coated. Now, a tip and a trick. This pan is sizzling hot, and you're gonna be able to hear this. Well, maybe you can hear it, but I can hear it. So what happens is, instead of me putting the oil and having it splatter all over, I drop my chicken in single layer, just like this, in my large 12-inch Cook's Essentials hard anodized enamel pan that is off the chain. It is my best pan so far in the house. And if you can smell the spice on this chicken right now hitting this pan, you will understand why it's just as important to have the spice as it is to have the sauce, and as it is to get the seafood sauce. And if you don't know what I'm talking about because you're just tuning in for the first time watching me, Aaron McCargo Jr., aka AMJ Big Daddy, go to aaronmccargo.com and get yourself all hooked up with the spice, the sauce, and the seafood sauce. So I got my chicken going in here, and this is a good time for me to go ahead and hit it with a little oil. Now I'm using olive oil. And now you hear the sizzle coming on. And this is a non-stick pan, so you don't have to worry about it sticking. And if you don't have a non-stick pan, go for it and do it with your aluminum or stainless steel or whatever you have. It's not that deep. So I got my chicken. Now cut them in small pieces because the cheese tortellinis are already cooked. Now I'm using cheese tortellini. I'm using chicken. If you don't want to do chicken and you want to do shrimp, this dish works for whatever you want it to be. But just understand it's a fast dish. Chicken's in. I'm flipping it over. It's already pretty much 75% done because the pan was hot. And also the chicken was cut small and then pretty much even bite-sized pieces. So I'm flipping all this chicken over. Now I'm gonna go, I'm talking about too fast, folks. Pesto chicken zucchini. Zucchini's going in. A little bit more olive oil just to get that zucchini a little bit of a sear with this chicken. Now I got the zucchini out my garden. Say you don't want zucchini, it's okay with me, folks. You don't have to do zucchini if you don't do zucchini. You don't have to do you can do asparagus, broccoli raw, or nothing at all. The main thing is understanding that the spice is what's seasoning the chicken, and in the pesto, I use the sauce. So in my pesto mix, while that's doing its thing and that zucchini's starting to sear up, I got these gourmet garden freeze-dried basil and parsley. Basil to give it that authentic pesto taste, and the parsley to give it a little bit of that color, that dark, deep green color. Now I put pine nuts in this. If you don't want to do pine nuts because you're allergic to nuts, do sunflower seeds. It works. Don't stress about whether you have to have the nut that I'm choosing to use for this recipe. You can sub it out with a sunflower seed or any type of seed or nut because you want just the oil and the fat, which is going to help bring the pesto mix together. So in my pesto mix, which I'm about to drop in this pan right now, I got me the sauce, the basil parsley mixture, the pine nuts, and some Parmesan cheese, a little oil just to loosen it up. Traditional pestos, we got garlic, we got pine nuts, we got olive oil, we got crushed red pepper sometimes, and of course they got basil. But I'm doing it the sauce way. And I got this pesto that is awesome to spread on bagels, on toast. When you get the recipe, try it, make a big batch of it because it's awesome to have around the house. Now I'm going in here with a little heavy cream. I got dinner for days. I just got finished making clams and spaghetti with the seafood sauce. And now I'm doing pesto chicken with zucchini and cheese tortellinis using the spice and the original of the sauce. Unbelievable day. Unbelievable day. And I think I'm going to actually just rock out this whole cup of heavy cream. Go heavy on the pesto. So I had about a quarter cup of pesto. I'm just going to stir this in here. And I didn't want the zucchini to get too mushy or too soft, so that's why I put them in after the chicken. And I hope you can see the sauce, and I wish you could smell the fresh basil, smell the sauce. The garlic in the sauce is really reeking out like just a fresh garden. The basil, I don't even know how to describe it. There's no other adjective to use. Now I got my cheese tortellinis that I cooked. If you want to do a tortellini or a tortelloni, the tortellonis are the big ones, so I've been saying the wrong one. Forgive me. I love these cheese tortellonis. They're big. They're stuffed with 3 cheeses. You cook them, and you're good to go. So this is going to go in this broth or this pesto bath of cream, good flavor, and the sauce, which you can get at AaronMcCargo.com. Remember, AaronMcCargo.com. So go in there, put your order in ASAP, because for some odd reason, a lot of folks been buying it. It's been flying off the shelf, or off the shelf, out the box. I know my team keeps calling me like, hey, Big Daddy, we got a problem. You need to tell them to make more. I said, okay. And then I realized they weren't lying. We need to make more. So this is the dish. I need me a nice white bowl or plate to put this in. And if you can see the color of the basil and the parsley. And folks, the reason I use the freeze-dried parsley is because I understand that a lot of times when you're buying basil or parsley or anything fresh, you really don't have a use for it after one time and it just goes to waste. I like to buy these right here because it really helps out on cutting down on cost and waste, because at the end of the day, everybody wants to save their money. So buy this, it goes a long ways. And when you talk about the pesto recipe, it was about 2 teaspoons, 1 tablespoon of basil, 1 tablespoon of the parsley, 1/4 cup of the pine nuts, 1/4 cup of the oil, and 2 tablespoons of the sauce, and a tablespoon of Parmesan cheese. Don't worry about memorizing that, but you got YouTube. You can push rewind, and you can get it again, okay? And that's pretty much all that was said about this dish, because I know with the gravy goody goods and the way it's looking in this chicken, if you don't do chicken, add shrimp. If you don't do shrimp, do salmon. If you don't do salmon and you're vegan, do tofu. If you don't do that, come to my house and get it, because I got a lot left over. But this is it. I just got to do what I normally do, and that's just taste a little bit of this sauce. Nothing to change about it, and I'm not lying to you. Got my bowl. Oh, it just hit me. It made me go way back to 1989. Harbor League Private Club, Camden, New Jersey. Well, my best friend John Jernigan, my mentor and chef friend that taught me a lot about what I know. And we were making homemade pesto. And that was a stressful job. And then I just realized how easy it got. Because I didn't have to, at the time, I had to peel the garlic and pick the leaves of the basil. He was very particular because it was fine dining. And now I'm in a situation that I can go get some freeze-dried parsley and basil. I got the sauce, which has the garlic already in it. And look at this. And when you taste the chicken, we're talking layers of flavors, folks. Remember, we toss the chicken in the spice to give it an extra layer of flavor. Some of that flavor bled into the sauce. So with having the sauce, this, and the pesto, and having the spice, you got double whammy of good big bold flavor in your mouth. And it's something that you won't forget. So let me get some chicken here. And I need a fork so I can get the goody goods. Okay, where's my fork at? And I like to go a little bit with some scallions on here. Just a little bit of green scallions. Extra parm is always the way I like to finish off any type of pesto. And I got my fork here. Okay, we're talking about price breakdown. We got the sauce, $12. We got the spice, $8, $10 if you're gonna get the larger bottle. But that's not the big thing I wanna talk about. We're talking about some cheese tortellinis, some zucchini, some chicken. This right here would do a family of 3 or 4 moderate portions, and we're under 20 bucks, maybe 25, including the sauce. So you're good. And we're not talking about you're gonna use the whole bottle of spice or the whole bottle of sauce. You're just using a couple spoons and a couple spoons. So when you talk about equating the money, and you say, well, no, if I'm paying $18, $20 for sauce and spice, where you get the 25 from? Because I'm talking about the chicken breast that I brought was $5.18 for 2 pounds. The pasta was $4. The scallions and the parsley was $1 a piece. So we're talking about $10 there. And when we talk about adding the Parmesan cheese and all the small stuff, yes, for 4 people, you eating good, real good. And talking about eating real good, this is very hot, but I wouldn't be right to just not eat this in front of you, because it just wouldn't be Big Daddy. So, as tradition calls for me to do so, I shall, at this moment, burn the roof off my mouth, showing off to you how easy and delicious and good making cheese tortellini, zucchini, and chicken with the sauce and the spice. Lunch all day. Tender chicken, tender. No salt, no pepper, no extra garlic, no nothing. But her and him together, like a married couple in bliss. Folks, need I say anything else? Get the sauce, get the spice, better yet, make it without it, and let me know how it tastes. I know what you're gonna say. It just ain't right. So, till next time, it's your man with the 15-minute pesto, zucchini, and tortellini pasta dish. God bless you, I love you. Remember to live in the moment, practice social distancing, and peace. And this is the real